meeting to order. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I will make a motion to appoint Joyce Ichikawa Fiscal Officer Pro Tem.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollis?
Yes.
We have the agenda before us. Do we have any corrections, additions, or deletions at this time?
Concerns of trustees, silent battle.
Anything else? The agenda will stand as edited. We do have two excused members, both on well-deserved vacations, Lisa Campbell and our fiscal officer, Tom Wolf. We have nothing under unfinished business. New business that will take us to Ralph Lee, who is here representing SARTA. If you wish to come to the podium, you can do that, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Either one, you know.
Okay.
First of all, good evening, everybody. And thanks for having me out here tonight and giving me an opportunity to speak to you guys about SARTA, what we're doing at SARTA. I've just been named the new Chief Executive Officer and took the interim title off. I've been there for about a year, so having a ball, enjoying it. Not a lot of things going on early on, but as I got into it, found out a lot of things. We're making a lot of changes. We had a meeting about a year ago, a breakfast meeting, which we're gonna have another one next week. I think we invited some of you to that, just to talk about where we're headed and what we're doing. Since I've been there, we've kind of changed the culture a little bit. We've renamed our mission, vision, and value statements. We've really changed the culture as far as the daily is concerned. I'm more of a hands-on guy. I've been out in the field. Drivers are very surprised to see me, you know, at the different stations, because the guy before me was not at the stations, and that's no knock on him, but they just didn't manage that way. And I figure that's the way you have to manage. You gotta meet people where they are. Brooke's known me for a long time, and you talk to her about me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat a lot of things. I'm just gonna tell you where we are and what we're doing. So what I came here tonight for is to get some help going forward. Ideas, anything you can give me to help with this community. Very important to us as far as the election was concerned. We did not win this area along with Perry. Those were the two areas which I counted as areas that we should win, based on the fact of the things that we have going on, the things that we do within this community, with the fixed routes and also with the Perry transfer routes, our Proline Plus. In this area alone, you know, we have about 5 different buses that come this way, the 108, 103, 111. And 5 routes to service North Canton, Belden Village, all kind of connecting to Plain Township. And if you look at it, as far as the ridership is concerned, as of 7/8, we had 276,000 trips on these routes that connect to Plain. So we're at 270 all the way for this year. And then when our Proline and Proline Plus, which means that's demand, these are people who were giving back their individual ownership and everything else, taking these people to grocery store, visit families, taking them to the mall, some of them just to walk, taking them to get the dialysis, taking them to doctor's visits. We take them all over. These are people who can't drive. And out of that, on our Proline trips to Plain, we had probably about, as of 7/10, about 12,144 trips to Plain, meaning we're bringing people into Plain. And the trips out of Plain, we have about 11,791 trips. And we're taking people out of here, taking them different places. These are all people that are important. And the total trips for our Plains runs for the year so far is almost 24,000 trips. So we are big and huge in this community as far as moving people around, getting people. There's a lot of people that use us that you don't even know. All of you, if you have not, will at some point in your life have a conversation with your parents about driving, because they can't drive anymore. And what I say to you in that particular, call me, because If you do it on your family thing, you're gonna be trying to figure out how to get them here, there. We do that, that's what we do. And we do it at a very low price, and we also are very effective in what we do. And our drivers are kind of like rock stars. We got a lot of people in plane. The next time you see me, I'll have 2 or 3 people beside me to tell you what they do and why it's important that SARTA continues to do what they do in Plain Township. We're very excited about some of the things we got going on and coming up. One of the things we're working on right now is in Canal Folk, we put in kind of an Uber style service. And that we're testing in Canal Folk. This Uber service is about $12 a ride. And you can go anywhere in the county for $12 one way. So we're thinking about, we gotta roll that out. But as you can see, we're going out in November, just to let you know, we're not going out for the increase. We went out last time for the increase and for a 10-year renewal. In November, I want everybody to understand, we're going out for the 10-year renewal. We just gotta get that on our belt, get that going. A lot of different RTAs throughout our state have permanent tax levies. We don't have that. We have to do it once every 10 years. And that's okay by us. We want to make sure that we're good stewards of money, we're good stewards of what you give us as far as our county tax. A lot of people didn't understand that it was not a property tax that we were going after. It was a tax that was equal to about 2 cents on every $20 more. If you bought something within Stark County. And a lot of times, everybody's paying that. Even the people that came to visit were paying that tax. We were trying to educate people on that. So now the education process is that there's a lot of people who don't use us because they don't need a bus. A lot of people don't use us because they don't need a bus. But we serve the underserved. We know that. There's a lot of people who have situations in their families that use us that have helped them be able to cope with that. Again, like I said, the next time you see me or somebody represent us, we'll have people here to talk to you about how important it is to them and what they do. Because a lot of people don't understand how important it is. Because what we have to do is convince the people that have the cars to vote for us. And I know one of our people said it's just like having the cops. You don't ever say you want to call a cop, but you always want to make sure they're there when you need them. And that's the same thing with SARTA. There's a lot of people who end up having breakdowns with cars and everything else, riding the bus for the first time and love it. So those are things that we're doing. We did have a great turnout of voters. I think there's almost 100,000 voters that were registered, didn't show up in the first election, so they normally don't in that type of election. So we're looking forward to the next one, but you'll see us out all around. We've got a great plan as far as getting to these different townships and township meetings and talking to them about what we're doing. What I'm here today is to ask for you for help to say, how do we make an impact in this community? How do we get the word out to the voters? So that's what I'm here today to talk to you about, and just see your thoughts and your things about what you hear about SARTA and where we are in this community. So with that, I'll shut up and listen.
I think for starters, historically, whether it's been the library or this, I think in the past we've shared, whether it's newsletter, website, social media. So if you have any messaging,
Okay.
Because our because summer's already out, so it'll be the fall newsletter. It typically drops the first month of newsletters drop the first month of each quarter.
Okay.
So that should put you at October.
That's when the early voting starts.
Yeah. In order for it to hit the newsletter though, I would, within the next week or two, reach out to Lisa Campbell and the staff here to talk about getting the space and just say, hey, it was brought up at the board meeting. She can see how much space you need or whatever. And then I will embrace it.
Barry, if we were to do that, we're still under the same obligation of using our newsletter, supporting that levy. Is that correct?
Is there,
We can't speak in support or against
Yes,
it.
yeah.
then yeah, we have the same
Oh, okay, but can we just do an advertisement?
It's a good question, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because, we're accepting dollars then.
I just wanna make sure that
But what if you did an article with someone who uses us in your community?
And we put it in the news, the problem is the newsletter, because we
Yeah.
spend township resources, taxpayer dollars on the newsletter. And anything that's gonna be.
So what about social media?
Endorsement, it's the same thing, we
Okay.
use township dollars there.
I feel like we're convoluting lines though too. I mean, even though we have a contract with the sheriff, every time the levy goes out, there's topics in that newsletter.
Well, what we
It
always,
will tie to that.
it's
so it
always
gets
the same
funded.
thing, it's always, if it's informational only,
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah,
That's.
so if we had a testimony from one of their riders and it just, or not,
Look, if you're asking me in YAR, then I would say it's gotta be fact intensive, it's gotta be an informational.
Okay.
I would stay away from testimonials, I would stay away from endorsements, I would make sure it's a factual overview of what they
What the
provide.
renewal is.
So a factual review of the renewal, a factual review of what we're doing in the community, like I gave you the numbers earlier, like.
Yeah.
that would be,
Like that.
I would see that to be.
You know, these many people use
That's more
signs.
Yes,
accurate.
correct. Yeah,
If it's
the
information only,
Plain
it's gonna be
Township
okay.
numbers, the Plain
Yeah.
Township numbers.
And that would just be the plain township numbers like I gave you earlier.
Yes.
These
Yeah.
many people use,
Yes.
use signs in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to be cautious. There's already been about 3 lawsuits of government agencies promoting levies, you know, and just basically saying vote for, or if you don't, here's the bad things that are gonna happen. And,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
a-
unfortunately, we dance around those issues, we don't want to, but, you know, it's just one of those things. We can do it if we do it right.
Okay. And that's what I'm gonna do. We'll do it right. And
At least
the other thing is,
Yeah.
we, on my side, I'm the same way, because we know there's guys out here that do nothing but go around and try to find those information links and see where you're making mistakes, and then try to step in there and say, hey, you made a mistake here, so.
So, yeah, with that kind of information, I think that would be actually good information
It
based
would.
on
She's
Plain
on
Township
vacation
numbers.
this week, but to contact Lisa Campbell.
Yeah, she's on
That's
vacation,
But
and once she gets back, we'll tell her kind of what we talked about, so. One way or the other, she'll either reach out to you, or you could reach out back to her, but she won't be back until Monday.
And I would expect some other people to come before you, that work with us, just to bring some people in and say, hey, let me tell you why we do this and why it's important. So, other people in the audience, other people may hear them and hear what they say, because we take people to work every day, we take people out of Lake Township, we work for 23 years. And works over at the GMC dealership.
And that's a good to add that in there.
So that's something that is factual, and without us, you wouldn't be able to have that job.
Sure.
And we wouldn't make that career, so.
Perfect. Anything else?
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I
Oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you very much. Okay, that takes us to the agreement to purchase or sale.
So under new business number 2, what we have before us is the agreement of purchase and sale through Western Reserve Land Conservancy. This has to do with the 70 acres, a portion of the old sanctuary golf course. This is the first grant application that goes through MRAC for the Clean Ohio Fund. It's a little over $1 million, because the total purchase is about 1.4, so you'll have a little over $1 million in this request, and then there will be another application that comes forward in probably about another month or 2 for Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District. So this just allows them to get this filed by the 29th of this month.
And that's 2 parcels, correct?
I think it's
Yeah, it's- yeah.
it's technically
Yeah,
technically
it's
down to-
70 acres, 2 parcels. So, that's a really nice project,
I
so.
mean, you figure, what we know at this point, Jacob and I going back and forth, unlike, say, the prior 2 rounds where we had the 20 acres over off of Schneider by Veterans Monarch Meadows, and then the new 47 on that southeast corner of Marquardt and Apple Grove, where there was some decent competition there, but we went out. You know, that's already $1.4 million of property under our belt, but not costing the taxpayers of Plain Township a single penny. This additional 70 acres 1.4 million. So, I mean, and what we're looking at this rate, we've done a lot of calling
Yeah.
around specifically more so Jacob, but I've made some, and it doesn't look like there's gonna be any other potential applicants.
I just
Somebody
find-
sneaks in at the last
I know, I
minute,
just find
so
that hard to believe.
I have certainly not been topping that because
Yeah.
I don't want anybody
Oh,
else competing
I-
against us. And at this hour, they're not gonna
No.
have the time to pull everything together. So this essentially allows Western Reserve to pursue this on the townships.
So do you want to make this motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt new business number 2.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
And then, number 3 is technically paperwork for the Clean Ohio Green Space Conservation Grant. So it's just an extension of the first half of this, but requires separate resolutions.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded for number 3, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thanks. That takes us to the sheriff's report. Captain? I think that's the first time I got to say that.
Ooh.
That might be. I still forget sometimes. Good evening, on behalf of Sheriff Weisburn, I have the Plain Township second quarter report from the sheriff's office. You should have that in front of you. Calls for service for the second half, which is April, May, and June, was 2,564 calls for service. We had 189 crashes, 29 injury crashes. We handled 79 alarms, 456 traffic stops, 260 citations were issued, we had 125 arrests, and then we did 1,720 vacation security checks. Our detective here in Plain Township was assigned 20 cases. He closed 5 break-in and enterings, 1 sex offense, 1 child abuse, and 1 felony receiving stolen property. And then you should have the breakdown for each month, April, May, June, that has the graphs for the yearly look back. Any questions about the report?
Busy quarter.
Yeah, June was busy. Looking back from last year, April and May were down from last year, and June was up from last year. Just the weather and stuff, it's been pretty busy, so.
Anything else? Welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
Good night.
Okay, thanks. That takes us to the fiscal officer's report.
Thank you.
Joyce?
Fiscal Officer Report. Resolution number 1, Fiscal Officer number 1, resolution to authorize the payment of pending warrants in an amount of $733,093.16.
So moved.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Just to clarify, because I know we've got a couple of new people in the crowd. One of the, because typically this is a higher amount than normal. You've got in here for Hill International Trucks, as well as Maslin Construction Supply. So that's related to
Yes.
the road work
Yes.
and so forth. So, I mean, there's about $500,000 right there, just to clarify.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 2 is a resolution to authorize payment of regular payroll in an amount not to exceed $300,000.
I'll move on. Fiscal officer number 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 3 is a resolution to authorize payment for the following medical claims as provided by All Care.
So moved.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 4 is a resolution to authorize refunds as follows for overpayment of emergency medical services as requested by Ohio Billing.
So moved.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 5 is a liquor permit for 909 Canton Pizza LLC, Kraus, South 30th Street Pizza, for your review.
There's no,
No concerns from the chair.
No issues.
this is the
Yeah.
third switch on this one, which seems to be,
Weird.
there must be some business structure or something going on, because within the last 3 months, we've had, this is literally the third change.
Well, let me see.
I think it's sold, I think it's sold, to that transfer liquor license or something.
Yeah, could be.
This says refer to all, name one,
It looks like the same owner, but yeah. All right, no issues. All right, consensus is we'll move that forward.
And that concludes the fiscal officer's report.
Thank you. That takes us to, are you doing false alarms, Eric?
Sure. Yeah, just have a resolution for false alarms in excess of 3 responses, and this particular place, this is 4th violation, so it's $50.
I'll move on administrator number 1.
second,
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes. Thanks, Eric. That takes us to Fire Chief Hirschberger.
Thank you. Fire Department number 1 is our quarterly report. As you'll see going through, our run volume was just slightly down from this quarter to the last, but we've been pretty busy with other things. You can see in the pictures, we had all of our kindergartners come and visit. We went and visited all of our 3rd graders. Had Safety City for pre-kindergarten, and obviously lots of CPR and training. Everything's pretty consistent as always. About 80% of our runs are EMS, and we transport about 87% of those, so. Still pretty busy.
Okay. Number 2.
Fire number 2 is a resolution authorized the purchase and payment of uniform allowance items from Levison's Uniforms.
I will move on Fire Department number 2.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
yes.
That's all for fire, thank you.
Next, Chief. That takes us to Road. Drew?
Thank you. Road Department number 1 is the Plain Township Road Department quarterly report for your review. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them. 2 quick notes. Paving starting next week, and we wrapped up the curb and gutter program today.
So all the that was all concrete.
In. We have some reclaiming to do, but the
Okay.
concrete's in the ground.
Yeah,
Nice.
perfect. Number 2.
Thank you. Road Department number 2 is a resolution to authorize purchase of payment to McIntosh Oil for 3 drums of oil.
So moved,
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
yes.
Thank you. Road Department number 3 is a resolution to approve the first amendment to the roadway maintenance agreement with the city of Canton.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
There's just the 2 properties that were part of the meta. They're gonna do one, and we were already doing 44th Street between Cleveland Avenue and Harrison. We were already taking care of that, so that's what we changed on that.
Okay. And we did discuss that a little bit last night.
Okay.
We went to Kansas City Council, and that component of that agreement was, and the whole thing was voted on, and it passed 12-0. So
Nice.
every council person voted in favor of that. So I think there was a lot of discussion about the work that you did and the work that their superintendent did to develop that and make it happen, and how happy they were with how efficient it is and how it just makes sense, and they're looking forward to other things. So I just want to pass that along. But
Yeah, that's great.
That was a part of that discussion, believe me.
Perfect.
And 2 council members spoke regarding that, so
Good.
it definitely was positive. Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thank you. Road item number 4 is a resolution determining to proceed with the submission of the question of renewal of the tax in the excess of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of providing for general construction, reconstruction, resurfacing, and repair of streets, roads, and bridges in the Plain Township Road District, Plain Township, Stark County, Ohio, or for the payment of other related costs of Plain Township Road District, Stark County, Ohio.
Also move.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thank you. Road item number 5 is a resolution to approve the agreement with Brown Equipment Company for an Intergreen communal multi-purpose tractor Fast 7.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thank you. Road item number 6 is a resolution to authorize purchase of payment to McIntosh Oil for gasoline and diesel fuel.
So moved.
Second.
Take your pick, either one.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Yeah. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thanks, Drew. That takes us to,
Oh, I'm sorry, that concludes road department.
yeah,
Sorry.
thank you. That takes us to zoning.
Yeah, item number 1 is our quarterly report. One thing I wanted to point out, for the people that get vendor permits, we only have one in Plain Township that's licensed through us. We've been getting, because it's summertime, we're getting a rash of call of vendors and people knocking on doors. So they're supposed to have one of our tags. If they don't, I suggest them to call the sheriff's department, because we've had a lot of people getting, very aggressive with these sales at the door. So please call in, say there's somebody at their house, and in the area, maybe they can get out while he's still in the area. If they wait 2 days and call in, we can never get a hold of them. So, to let them, get them off the street, I guess, for selling, so.
Sure. Yep. Any questions on number 1? Okay, number 2?
And under D, under our abatements, there's a typo in the parcel number.
Okay.
On number D, it's 5203-204. They listed the address, it's a vacant lot.
Joyce, can you reflect that?
Yeah, so I'll give you the number here. What's that one for number D? So they put down the address, which is this is a vacant lot.
Okay.
So items number A, to declare items number A through E as abatements.
Second's been moved and second. Is there anyone in the audience as a representative of any of these nuisance properties that are before us? Seeing none, discussion, roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item number 3 is to accept items A through D as abatement payments.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion, roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Chuck, outside of these, and then you follow, like, I see the property over on Orion, it got mowed down. But are they gonna do anything with the rest of that junk that's around? I mean, it's,
The house is sold, it's pending, so they did get the grass cut the whole set pending. Someone is taking over, I think, at close to the end of the month. So that's the next on the list. I got the grass trimmed and cut. There's obviously a lot of things.
that's a disaster
Yeah.
over there.
So hopefully the new owner will start getting rid of some stuff there, I guess.
I mean, no, one of the individuals that reached out said they were grateful that at least a mow pass on it, but given all the junk that's around, it still makes the mow job look.
Yeah, actually, the realtor was the big help there, the one that sold it. He was able to get a hold of the true owner right now, get it cut, and then the new owner is supposedly gonna work on the cleanup.
And then separate of that, the one up here off the East.
I talked to that person, they're just coming back from out of state, and it's on their agenda this week to mow.
All right,
So I think we'll see some action there hopefully within the next week.
all right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Chuck. That takes us to parks, Rob.
Thanks. Item number 1 is a quarterly report. I'll draw your attention to the amphitheater revenue and the growth in all facets, really.
So this is.
It's been a good year so far.
Has been a real good year. The season passes are what blow me away. If you take away the sponsor passes, which are again paid. Last year we had 296. This year, 578. We're like almost doubling each year we do this of those types of passes. So it's catch and hold, if you will.
Questions or remarks on the report? Okay, 2,
Thanks. Item number 2 is a resolution to purchase shade structure for the amphitheater for the Swiss Valley Fence.
So moved.
second's been moved and seconded, discussion. This, I think this will be a good purchase.
It'll fit well and help
Yeah.
our talent on stage and.
Yeah. Cut back on that sun glare, that's for sure. Yeah. Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
Thanks. Item number 3 is a resolution to authorize payment to Harris Company Porta-Johns for the uses at Diamond and the amphitheater.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Harless?
Yes.
That concludes Parks.
Thanks, Rob. That takes us to the portion of the meeting of public speaks. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the board at this time? Could I read this first? It's kind of long, but
That's okay.
we do this every time somebody wants to speak.
Okay.
We've reached the public speaking segment of the meeting, and we welcome any audience member who wishes to address the board. You may refer to our public speaks format that is located on the back desk. You can approach the podium or stay seated, whichever you prefer. Please provide your name to the fiscal officer for the inclusion of the minutes. Please note that in accordance with Plain Township's regulations, each speaker is allotted 3 minutes to ensure all viewpoints are heard effectively, fostering fairness and accommodating diverse perspectives within the allotted time frames. Keep in mind that this is not a question or answer format, but an opportunity to speak. The board respects the rights of citizens to present differing opinions, views, and criticisms. Both the board and citizens are expected to respect the comments of others while maintaining the highest level of decorum. Now, having said all that, welcome.
Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jennifer, last name is Dave, D-A-V-E. I am actually a member of this community. I live out on Tulip Street, so this is my community. I am running for the Stark County Court of Common Pleas, for Judge Heath is retiring. And so her seat has become open, so I'll be running for that seat in the fall. I've spent 32 years at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, handling felony offenses of violence, mostly domestic violence cases in Stark County. Love what I do, but I'm excited to go to the next level in the judgeship. One personal note, I want to thank the fire department specifically. When my father was living with me, I've had to call out to the EMS probably 4 or 5 times, and every time they have been wonderful. And so it really meant a lot to me. And I think it's important that people know and that you guys are greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
And that's all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
David, any questions for your first meeting? For your first
No,
meeting
no.
experience?
I just wanted to see if everything functioned and people actually, were behaving. I own a couple small businesses in Canton, and I'm looking at moving my family to Plain Township, but I'm like, I don't know anybody in Plain Township. So while my daughters are at the Diamond soccer field, I was just like, I'll be a real dork and just sit at the watch the
We appreciate the
local
interest.
Isn't there still the 5-minute speech for first time?
I think you're right. Anyone else? Well, thank you. All right, that takes us to concerns of trustees, and the first thing on the agenda is the annexation agreement. So we've already talked a little bit about that. We have, through a lot of hard work entered into a milestone agreement with the city of Canton regarding future annexations. And I don't think there's a realization by a lot of people of how big this actually is. What this has essentially done is it has, on a signed agreement for 25 years, the city of Canton is agreeing to not annex any residential properties of 3 family units or less for that 25 years at all. Okay, now understand that there was an issue regarding their ability to utilize their utilities to be able to do that, okay? And that's something that we can't fight. I myself want to emphasize, and I'm sure the other two are going to address some other things, but I want to make this clear to anybody that sees this on tape is we can't fight annexation. What we can do is make agreements, okay? Because in the Ohio Constitution, it allows cities to utilize their provision of services for water and sewer to require annexation if they so choose, okay? It's not, I mean, we can jump up and down and scream and, try to do all kinds of things. We can talk to our state representatives. We can take petitions out. We can do all that citizen activism, advocacy, and it's never going to work. You know why we know that? Because we've already done it, okay? If you've been reading the papers, you realize that with the issues that were going on in Canton and Perry, there were some contentious battles going on. And we were hoping that we were going to dodge those because we've always had a pretty good relationship with the city of Canton. But we were kind of, fallout from all of that. And unfortunately, during this process, they decided that they were going to include the other 2 townships that were contiguous to them. Because keep in mind, it's because they are contiguous that they actively pursue annexation if they can, okay? So some people say, well, why aren't they going to Jackson or why? Well, that's because they don't touch them anywhere, okay? It's that simple. But there are fears that they might be able to go through all of us to get to those other places. To tell you how big this is, our administrator, Lisa Campbell, I wish she were here to hear this, but she'll look at the tape. She was by far, on our side, the biggest advocate for pushing this across the finish line. Their Mayor Bill Scheer, and Lisa Campbell met on several occasions. And believe me, knowing full well that constitutional amendment, but those 2 people came together, they collaborated, they compromised, they cooperated, and they built a level of trust. And that level of trust then seemed to just explode everywhere. All our department heads that are up here, whether it's fire, whether it's road, whether it's law enforcement, our zoning, parks, law director, all these other people had some action within this whole process. And we have already had, for the most part, a really good working relationship with the city of Canton. But the annexation issue was near and dear to all of our hearts because our residents all believed that they moved to Plain Township for a reason. And that reason was they obviously enjoy our services, they enjoy our schools, they enjoy our parks. There's so many things that attract them here. Maybe they've even attended a concert or two back here. But whatever it is, they choose to live here. And with that annexation issue hanging over their heads, we had residents during that period of time that actually received letters stating, if your house goes up for sale and you live contiguous to the city of Canton anywhere, we're going to annex you. That was the letter they received. So again, remember that they can, even those properties that are 4 or more family units and businesses, still, if they choose to annex, still have to be contiguous. So they can't checkerboard, okay? There are certain things that are requirements, that they can't just gobble up things. So I will tell you that if you look around the state, that issue of water and sewer are being used by the 6 biggest populated counties in the state of Ohio. And you all know what those are, the 3 C's, a T, a D, and an A, okay? So you got Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Toledo, Akron, Dayton, and what'd they miss? Akron, did I say Akron? Okay? And they're all using that. But there's a world of difference between those counties and Stark County. In my previous life and career, I was a fire chief for 17 years. But as a fire chief, I was a Region 5 coordinator for the Ohio Fire Chiefs Emergency Response Plan. So I had 13 counties that I was responsible for, but because of that response plan, every disaster that ever happened in the state, I got deployed as the regional coordinator to assist in the command and control of those disasters. And I can tell you, I went to a lot of counties, and I was amazed at how dysfunctional some counties are that are out there. Their sheriff doesn't talk to their EMA director. Their commissioners don't like each other. I mean, it's just terrible in terms of that feeling of cooperation and participation by everyone. And we don't have that in our county. And here's what I think with this agreement. I think that's going to strengthen that. But I also think other people are going to look at that and say, hey, you know, what can we do to partner with this? We're all competing for funds. We just heard a presentation about SARTA. We're all competing for funds. And it only makes sense that we partner with people to at least use resources that each of us have in those situations where it's going to benefit everybody. We've been elected to be leaders, not politicians. We've been elected to look at what is it that our citizens expect and what is it that they want. And if they say they want a good fire department, we're going to give them a good fire department. If they say we want to have really nice parks and community events, we're going to do that. Law enforcement, the same thing. And so it's our responsibility to do that, but it's also Canton's council responsibility to do that for them. So we're all looking out for our communities, but it only makes sense that those partnerships and these agreements make us both better. I think I went over 3 minutes.
Or they could put the cane away.
All right. I've had a lot of people ask me about the old NETA and why we are getting, got rid of it and we had everything redone. The old NETA would not have protected residential property, the owners from being forced into annexation. It would never have been followed. It was done in 2014, and we would have ended up in a battle, as the boundaries were confusing, not accurate. There's a number of loopholes that were in there. Some people have asked, well, why aren't you working with legislation at the state? We have. We have worked with the Ohio Realtors, we worked with our local Realtors, we worked with Kyle Brooks at the Ohio Township Association. We have gone on and on with meetings. Not only have we had meetings with, like Lisa had with Mayor Shear, but we have meetings to find out how and what can we do. We want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what John said. We care about our community. We care about it a lot. And when people think we don't care and we're putting money in our pockets or whatever the rumor mill, the keyboard warriors are saying, it's absolutely not true. We live in this community. We want to have this community stay safe, have what they need, don't have our residents fearing that they might be annexed every other month, especially with everything that was going on with Perry. And we wanted to ensure with this agreement that they had that safety net, that they felt secure. The only last thing, because I know a lot of stuff was covered with John, under this agreement, and I made some notes, residential properties, like I said, will no longer have to worry about being forced or the threat of involuntary annexation as a condition. And the past 18 years, all annexations involving Plain Township have been type 2 annexations, meaning the property owners voluntarily at the time chose to annex into the city. It also means those properties remain in the township and are subject to township's taxes. I'm just wanting to clarify some of that because there were some people that had some questions regarding that. Scott?
I think just to build off of the taxes piece, again, social media presences drive, just some of the most crazy, unfounded, messages, but if folks don't do their work, it creates a lot of headaches. And one of the points I know I had seen and was actually approached about was, well, I don't want to be paying Kansas City income taxes now. As we've just said through all these details, they all contribute to the fact that unless the property's annexed into the city, you're not going to be paying the city's 2.5% income tax. It's as simple as that. So from anybody who watches the video, in attendance, reads any potential media articles, you're not going to be paying an income tax all of a sudden. Now, the reality is one of the benefits for the township financially, again, no money coming in our pockets, we're not in everybody's favor, but does the township get 1% of the city's income tax? Yes. And guess what? That gets to go into the general fund, so we can actually use that for the best use possible, depending upon, maybe there's something special on road, or there's something special on fire, or whatever else may come up. So the reality is, from a funding, and knowing that there's still folks out there that say, hey, we just want to eliminate property taxes. I want to make crystal clear, again, we live in the township as well. Nobody likes to pay taxes. I'm willing to bet everyone in this crowd here as well. But at the end of the day, you darn sure want to make sure you got fire, police, and EMS coming to you in an emergency, that your roads are paved, plowed, drainage, roadside drainage issues taken care of, and there's quality life factors. And the reality is, whether it's the Plain Township Board of Trustees, it's Canton City Council, local elected officials have the greatest impact on everybody's day-to-day life. We all get tied up in what's going on at the state. We get tied up in what's going in federally, what political affiliations are. And guess what? Yes, our seats are technically a nonpartisan seat. That doesn't mean we don't have certain leanings. But at the end of the day, like John said, we're elected to be leaders. I don't sit here and go, well, do I want to talk to him because of this persuasion or that? I'm willing to talk to anybody who's willing to help me get something across the finish line. And this board has proven that, because honestly, even like the Parks Project through Western Reserve, years ago when there was a former Parks Director in place, it was like competition. Well, you're gonna take money potentially away from me. I wasn't gonna let that be a barrier, nor were we. And guess what? We went out and found somebody who's gonna work with us, and in the midst of it, we've already, had great success. So that theme carries across all of our service delivery operations here in the township. I do think, having been around for the meetup and so forth, just looking at the longevity, Eric can attest to, we literally sat and went, and we looked at maps the whole 9 yards, and when we did this, we're like, okay, we're good. And then as time passes, it's like, wait a minute, now how exactly did this happen? Well, we looked at 50 years back then, because the mindset was, depending upon the administration's flexibility or lack thereof, we need to lock in whatever protections we can get. The downside to such a long agreement, whether it's any political jurisdiction, is that you're essentially handcuffing the hands of future council, future boards of trustees, and Lord knows as communities evolve, service delivery evolves or needs to evolve, potentially hamstringing somebody. So 25 years is certainly a reasonable period to where you can try and find a number of successes along the way, but yet allow future boards and councils to go, you know what, this is working great. Let's extend it another 25. Or wow, none of us saw any of this coming. Because the Lord only knows what happens at the legislature, whoever's in control at that point. It may go, you know what, we need to change some things up. So I think the term is really fair and reasonable. I know there are, again, folks that go, well, they really haven't discussed it. There have been so many discussions on this, we can't, we can only talk so much. If you don't put forth the effort, is the general public, a resident of Plain Township, we spoon feed it as good as you can. If you don't understand it, it's on you to reach out and ask questions of us or our staff.
Well,
and
we
so
want to
forth.
make sure that our residents know at the end of the day, they can be confident that this agreement preserves the local control that they're used to, and it safeguards township revenues, and it still respects everybody's individual property rights, choices regarding the annexation.
And I will say, I think off of both John and Brooke's point, I know we taking forever, but this is big, this is big.
I know, and people don't realize.
The Stark Trumbull Area Realtors Association and the Ohio Realtors Association were big in this from a macro level, because some of the money they've spent on advertising and messaging, lobbying efforts to inform the legislature. Now I can tell you, and I'm sure Brooke and John have had their fair share of conversations, but even with Senator Timken, she reached out at one point. It is not, because of certain things within the Constitution, other rules and regulations, it's not as easy as all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna give townships the power of annexation, or we're gonna do away with it, because of course you have, as much as we have the Ohio Township Association, there's the Ohio Municipal League, the County Commissioners Association, and so forth. So what appears easy on the surface, when you start digging into it, it's a lot more complex. So that doesn't mean now that we've got this deal, that we're still not going to be advocating through the state and so forth, because there will be, at points, different legislation that comes up. But this board and prior boards have never lacked the effort to reach out, engage at the state level. So I think this is a really job well done, and again, would echo both of your comments, as well as what the Mayor Scheer did last night of Lisa and so forth. So it's teamwork that makes it happen.
Anything from a legal standpoint here?
Nope, nothing to
It's like,
Okay, anything else? All right, that takes us to number 2.
All right, so I'm bringing this forward. I'm gonna forward you guys some details, but about 12 years ago, I put forward the vision for Veterans Park, the Memorial Hillside, and even in our capacity, working together as a board, we've added a couple pieces to build that hillside out that tells a very cool story. And over the last 6 months, I've been going, okay, it's been a couple of years, really want to see something else. And I'd had a conversation a couple months back, an individual Rolling Thunder, who we've partnered with on the Chair of Honor, come to me and said, have you ever heard of the Silent Battle Memorial? And really, what the Silent Battle Memorial is it's part of the Eyes of Frida Lima Company Memorial Traveling exhibit, and they were looking at us because of the intentionality that Hillside's done. They were also going to look, and for certain reasons I'm not going to disclose, they were looking at potentially 2 or 3 other locations, and I told them, if you haven't talked to them yet, don't make any calls until I have this conversation with you guys. Essentially, Rolling Thunder would be looking, they're gonna do fundraising. When I say fundraising, this isn't a light venture, it's somewhere between $70,000 to $100,000 that they're looking to raise, to bring one of these as a permanent memorial into Stark County. Right now, there's only 2 others in the state. One's in Marietta, the other's in Mount Vernon. And essentially, I'm trying to see where my description is. It's essentially a life-size bronze sculpture where you would have a guy sitting on like a platform and he's holding the dog tags. And this, what the whole purpose of this is, you know, when folks think about veterans and service and the folks who didn't come back, this is really more about the folks who physically come back but haven't come back mentally because of the PTSD and so forth. So it's really like a 3-part experience that the memorial centers around, you know, reflecting on the struggles that veterans face returning home, spending time at the places, a place of reflection. And honestly, if you look up right behind our Keystone Monument, the flags, we already have on a piece of stuff that this is a somber, reflective place, and then it's a way for veterans to engage should they want to. We got beautiful benches up there. So realistically, I'm bringing this forward because personally, I'm just geeked out about the opportunity, would love to bring it, but I just want to see where you guys are at from an interest in exploring it. I'm looking to meet the guy later this week just to see where it was thinking, so I can bring it back. But there's no money asked of us. It's really the ask of the location. And I was clear to say up front, given our very linear layout and the storytelling, we're probably gonna be very tight on where we want it to go. And honestly, need to talk with Rob, but you know, the sidewalks stuff that we've put in to be able to access that'll be another factor to look at. So I'll forward pictures of it. You can look it up online, Silent Battle. This isn't something that would be done in the next month or 3 months, because certainly it's gonna take as long as they get the fundraising, but I think it could be a hell of a piece to add over there.
But I'm sure if we want to be first on the list, they're gonna want to know that
Yes.
relative.
Yeah, and that's why I'm
So what we've done, what we've noticed with Veterans Park is how much buy-in we get from everybody that's here. Brooke is a veteran, first of all, but it just amazes us of how much buy-in these guys get, our sheriff's department, how much interest they get in any one of these projects. I mean, Drew's a veteran, and you have veterans that are in the road department, and they kind of take pride in these projects. So whether it's fire, and anybody up here has had some piece of making that a reality and has bought into the ownership. So again, if whatever you guys feel, whatever you are a part of, you know, that's gotten up. I mean, I'm basically telling you right now, I'm good with it, you know, that we pursue it. But again, if you guys have any thoughts, Brooke?
I am definitely, of course, an advocate for it, especially for what it means to Silent Battle. I know too many veterans groups that I work with and I'm on the board of that have the, you know, not only PTSD, but they deal with friends, comrades that have passed away due to suicide and come back, and it is a silent battle, because you look at someone, you don't know what they're going through. And we do need to bring more awareness, just like 22 suicides a day for a veteran. I could give you guys story after story, it's heartbreaking, and I think this is a very powerful monument and very much would fit in with our.
True.
I'll keep you guys in.
Yeah, so, you know, I've touched every part up there in the Veterans Hill, from the time I started here till the last piece we put in. I know that the veterans in the road department, they always want to be a part of that, helping out, you know, want to be on that crew. So I think it's great. It's a good place to go. I visited a lot myself, so, you know, I told people about it. That'd be a great piece.
I'm in. Whatever you need.
Well,
All right, well, I've got what I need for,
you have the consensus to
yeah, I have what I
Yep.
need for right now,
just
so.
keep us updated. Good. Anything else? Okay, that takes us to the approval of the June 9th meeting, and I will move for approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, discussion, roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollis?
Yes.
Okay, that takes us to, we do have a need for an executive session. I will make a motion, be it hereby resolved by the Plain Township Board of Trustees, Stark County, Ohio, to adjourn to executive session at 7:01 PM from this regular meeting of July 14th, as authorized under Ohio Revised Code 121.22G for the purpose of the consideration of 1A, the appointment of a public employee or official; 1E, the promotion or demotion of a public employee or official; 1F, the compensation of a public employee or official; and number 3, a conference with the law director or other retained counsel concerning disputes involving the township that are subject of pending or imminent court action.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded, discussion, roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollis?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.